The Harvest Man, there's a field outside the town of Bellwick that no one talks about. It lies between a forgotten forest and a dead stream, hemmed in by an old stone fence broken in places like it gave up trying to hold back whatever lies inside. No crops grow there, not anymore. Only blackened stalks and dried husks sway in the breeze, even in spring. But years ago, that field was alive. Corn as tall as barns, rich red soil. The locals called it blessed ground. That is, until the first harvest came. They say it began with the crows. Hundreds of them, silent and still, perched on every fence post, roof, and tree branch, staring. They didn't move, didn't caw, didn't scatter. The town priest said it was a sign. The farmer, Hugh Whitlow, ignored him. He had a harvest to bring in. The first night of cutting, Hugh's son Jacob disappeared. One moment he was loading sheaves into the wagon. The next, gone, no footprints. No trail. Just the sound of the corn rustling as if it had inhaled. They searched for days, found nothing. The field remained untouched except for a single row, cleared and blackened, like it had burned without flame. That night, Hugh built a scarecrow, 7 feet tall, stitched burlap sack for a head, long wooden limbs, and a grin carved in charcoal. He said it was to ward off the evil. He dressed it in Jacob's overalls. The next day, the crows were gone. But that night, screams came from the field, and the scarecrow had moved. Over the next month, people kept vanishing. A girl chasing her dog into the corn, a sheriff's deputy sent to investigate, even the priest. Each time, the scarecrow was found closer to the center of the field, arms outstretched as if welcoming them. He went mad, claimed he could hear Jacob's voice at night, whispering from the stalks, pleading. He said the field had taken him, and that the scarecrow was keeping him from being swallowed entirely. He wouldn't let anyone burn it. The mayor ordered the field condemned. No one was allowed near. The kids dared each other to jump the fence, especially in October. None ever stayed past dusk. Then, one Halloween night in 1983, 5 teens entered the field and never returned. Only a camcorder was found, footage still intact. It showed the kids laughing, taunting the scarecrow, pushing it over. The final frames were of the corn rising, closing in, and a shadow stepping out of the stalks. Too tall, too thin, with arms that bent wrong and eyes that glowed like coal. The footage was seized by authorities, the story buried. But Bellwick remembers. Every harvest season, residents still hear footsteps crunching through dry husks. They find feathers in places no birds should be, and the scarecrow, long since removed, always reappears. Always smiling. Locals call him the Harvest Man, and they say he's still waiting for someone foolish enough to finish what Hughes started. In 2006, a documentary crew arrived to make a film about the legend. They stayed in Bellwick for a week, interviewing residents, gathering folklore. They were warned not to enter the field. They didn't listen. On their last night, they went in. What little footage survived was discovered months later, hidden inside a rusted metal box buried beneath the floorboards of an abandoned diner near the town border. In the footage, the crew is seen placing night vision cameras around the scarecrow. One of them remarks that it smells like burnt hay and something sweet, like rotting fruit. The scarecrow moves, not a full step, just a twitch, a tilt of the head. Then the sound, not screams, but laughter, childlike, echoing through the corn. None of the crew was ever found. Their names carved into the barn wall beside the field, one by one, in deep, splintered grooves. In 2022, a viral TikTok challenge reignited the legend. Teens dared each other to sneak into the field at night, film for 5 minutes, and upload what they captured. The first few were uneventful: nervous laughter, wind, distant rustling. Then came the video from a user named Ash from Bellwick. She filmed herself walking along the edge of the corn, flashlight flickering. Her voice was shaky, joking at first. Then she froze. The camera turned toward the Scarecrow, only it wasn't where it had been. It stood 10 feet closer, head tilted, arms out. Ash ran. Her video ended mid-scream. Her account was deleted 2 days later. Police found her phone embedded in the trunk of an old tree near the stream, still recording. Nothing but whispers. Today, the field remains untouched. Nature refuses to reclaim it. The soil is dead. Birds won't land there. And every October, without fail, the Scarecrow returns, patched, weathered, arms wide. Locals avoid the road. Visitors vanish. And the town of Bellwick goes silent after dark. Some say the Harvest Man was once a guardian spirit, corrupted by blood and grief. Others believe he was never human, something older, hungrier. Some even whisper that the Scarecrow is not just a symbol but a vessel, a shell animated by something beneath the field. Something that hungers not for food, but for memory. For fear. They say that when you step into the field, it doesn't just take your body, it takes everything you were. And what walks back out isn't you. Now, local legends speak of a lone traveler, a woman named Elise, who once wandered into Bellwick on the anniversary of the first disappearance. Elise had no ties to the town, no family, no destination. She said she had dreams, nightmares of a smiling figure in cornfields, calling her name. She went into the field with a journal and a flashlight. She never came out. Weeks later, a young boy found her journal in the woods. Its pages were soaked and torn, but one sentence had been carved into the cover. He sees what you are. Every page after that was filled with the same sentence, repeated over and over in increasingly erratic handwriting. But the final page was different. It held a single drawing, a faceless scarecrow, standing over a mound of open mouths. No one speaks of Elise now, but sometimes, near the dead stream, hikers say they hear her whispering, not calling for help, but calling others in. But all agree on one thing. If you hear laughter in the corn, run.